Hey there, friends. Okay, I had so many comments on my post about my daughter's faux brick wall in her room about how I did it. So I'm kicking myself for not just doing a tutorial when I was making it, but I was making it up as I went along. So now I'm going to do my best to recreate the process. It's super easy. I am not a crafty or a do-it-yourselfer. I would never say that about myself. So I was able to do this, and I think you can too. So let's go down to my steaming hot garage and I will show you how I made this awesome wall. Okay, here I am in my 3,000 degree garage because it's 105 degrees outside, but now you know how much I truly love you. Anyway, I'm excited to show you this tutorial because it is so much fun and it really wasn't that hard. This is probably my first major home improvement that I've done. So if this is my first one, you can do it too because you're probably a lot more talented and skilled than my husband and I were. We have a little saw. It was like the first time we used it, we've had it for 5 years. So this is easy to cut. It's just that paneling. It's from, I got this at Home Depot. I've also seen it at Lowe's, but I think it's about $25 a sheet. And it comes in a much bigger sheet than this. Sorry, I don't know the dimensions right now. But you're gonna wanna put that on your wall before you start your putting your joint compound on it. So attach it to your wall. We used a combination of liquid nails and a nail gun? No, I think we just use normal nails. So hopefully the people who buy our house in the future are totally loving this wall because it ain't coming down. Anyway, so you put it up there. It's on your wall. It's looking awesome. Then you're gonna get some joint compound. So the stuff that I have, you're not gonna be able to read it because it's backwards. Ooh, ooh. But it's a big old tub. I bought 3 of these. I used a half of one, so I did not need to buy that much. But this goes on pink. It says it dries white. It dries like a beautiful salmon color. So it does not dry white, it dries more pink. I was okay with that because I wanted a lot of red in my wall. Anyway, so, put that down. You're gonna wanna get some of the joint compound on your spatula. Then you're just gonna start filling it in, like this. Scraping as you go, but you definitely wanna get it in the grout marks. Like that. I'm just gonna do a little bit. This is awesome. I really wanted my wall to look super distressed, so I wasn't real worried if it was thicker in some places, if even some of this gray that was already originally on it was showing. That was okay. Like I even had it like that. Like I had a couple holes like that in mine. I can't see it very well. But cover your wall like this. I worked in small sections, semi-small sections, because the joint compound will dry. So then, after you get that on, back, you're gonna take just an old, this is not a super old one, but you seriously could buy like a dollar store paintbrush for this. This is the only one I have right now. This one was not that cheap. But you can get a dollar store paintbrush, any old one, and I just like to put a little bit of texture into my grout lines, just so it looks super old. Oh, I feel the sweat running down my back. TMI. Okay. Oh, there. Okay, now it's going down my pants. I'm so glad that I'm making this tutorial for you. Anyway, so you're going to want to do that. Here you go. And just let that dry. So, oh, one more thing. Once you get to this point, I go back and put a little bit more texture into my walls. Let me get closer. Try not to make you seasick here. I go back and just put a little bit more because you are scraping some of it off, but you do want some left on there. So I'll go back with just the excess that I already had on my spatula and go back and put some on the wall. So then it kind of looks like that when you're done. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry, and then I'll come back and show you the painting technique, which is super easy. I'm not an artiste, my daughter is, but she didn't help me, but even though this was for her room, she was at school while I did this. Anyway, so I'll come back and show you how I painted it. Okay, my daughter came home from work, so she's the cameraman. So now she can get close-ups and far-away-ups. That's a word. Okay, so now we're going to start painting. So once this is dry, it's still really chalky, so it's okay if it's at that point. But you'll want to get another little spatula, and you'll want it to be the same width as your bricks, roughly. It can be a little bit smaller, that's okay, but you don't want a big one because you don't want it to cross over into these other bricks. So then you're gonna get white latex paint. Here's a big old bucket of it. Just get some on your spatula, and then you're gonna come start, and with fairly firm pressure, just drag it across, like that. Then I'll just use it on the other side, drag it across, and you don't really want it to go across the whole thing, like even that one was a little much. I might take a little bit of that off. So it's gonna catch a lot of that texture that we put on, and that's what we want. We don't want it to cover the entire brick. And like, I don't like a ton of paint on it because I like it to have this really spotty look to it. I kind of just like it to grab that texture that we created with the joint compound. So let me do a little bit more, okay, so you're getting a nice close-up of it. But I like the look that the joint compound gives it, so it's kind of like a creamy, and then you've got the bright white that stands out. Okay, so you're gonna win an award for your filming skills.
I already have.
Okay, so then you're gonna let that dry. Okay, we're getting close to being done. So now I just wanted to add a little bit of brown and a little bit of gray into my wall upstairs. I can't find the gray paint that I used, but I'm not positive it has to be chalk paint. So I know it's probably a lot cheaper just to use latex paint. I do have chalk paint, but I don't know that, the only thing I like about it is it can wipe off, so if you go a little bit crazy and you want to take some off, it's easier to clean off. So anyway, I just put a little bit of the brown on my spatula. Then I'm just gonna go to different bricks and do the same technique. So just pull it over a little bit. You can do over what you've already done. I just like layering things. I feel like the more texture you add, the more real it's going to look. So the key here is very little paint. You see how I have just a tiny bit on there? And so I'm just gonna go randomly. I'm not doing it on every brick. Anyway, so then you're just gonna go back in and just do that, and you can go back and think, okay, I want more white. So then you can do more white, or you can do more brown, or you can do other colors that you like. Like I said, I did a dark brown and a kind of a light gray. Anyway, so some will have more. Okay, then the final thing that you're going to do. So when I had mine done, it looked a lot like this, but I wanted to see more red. So then you get an old cruddy washcloth that you don't care about, get it wet.
Yes, you're cruddy.
No commentating from you, you're the camera. Then you just wipe it off in places. So the good thing about this is the latex paint is going to stay there, and then the red will shine through. So I don't do this to every brick. I just go randomly and be like, I want a little more red in this spot. I don't know if you guys do this. I'll back up, tilt my head. My husband makes fun of me because I stand back and tilt my head every time I'm thinking. Thank you, Casey. So then you'll just go and randomly start wiping it down on certain bricks. So then that brings out a lot more of the color. But like I said, it will leave that latex there so you don't lose the texture that you put in. Okay, my photographer melted, so she had to go inside. She's fired. Anyway, just a few more tips on finishing this project. So when you put your pieces together on the wall, because you're not gonna fit, this paneling is not gonna be enough for one wall. You have to put a couple of them together. You'll want to make sure that you're matching the bricks up. Do half brick to half brick so it makes a full brick, if that makes sense. A lot of the seams you can cover with the joint compound, but if there's one, we had one that there was a little bit of a gap, so it really was noticeable. So what I did is I put a lot more joint compound on it, like a lot, so that it you almost couldn't even see where the grout was, and then I did a lot of the stippling, is that what it's called? With different colors, just so it looked like a super worn out piece of the wall. That's a good way to hide that. Mine was just up at the very top, and it really, you can't notice it when you look at it now. Anyway, hopefully I covered everything. If there's any questions, feel free to comment, and I will do my best to tell you, answer your questions. But thank you so much. I'm excited to share this, and I definitely want to see your projects, and see you later.